This wrap up just, it is what it is and we're gonna live with it. Hello and welcome to my channel, The Danish Readaholic. My name is Silka and today I will be doing my June wrap up. This wrap up will probably be the shortest wrap up that I'm doing all year. At least I hope so, because I don't know what happened. All of a sudden I just didn't read at all. We have our first page count that is under 1,000 and I'm not happy about it. Like, I'm so not happy about it because I had a goal and I was doing so well. And then summer came and I got busy with a shit ton of things. So hopefully I can turn it around. I feel like I'm already doing better and I'm reading like more regularly. So hopefully I can turn it around. But in order to get to the average page count that I want, I need to seriously pull my shit together. So hopefully I do that. But let's get through the stats and then we will talk about the few books that I did read. So I read a total of 3 books with a total page count of 657. When it comes to the authors, I have one that I had read before and one that was new to me. The star rating, I have 1 3-star and 2 4 stars. As for the representation, I have 1 with disability and 1 with multiple types of representation. For the authors, I have 1 from Denmark and 1 from Canada. When it comes to the genre, I have 1 fantasy and 2 graphic novels. All 3 of the books were a part of a series, and all 3 books were YA intended audience. When it comes to the sources, I have 2 that was owned and 1 that I had hauled this year. And all 3 books were released prior to 2022. Sorry, there's road work. Road work ahead? Yeah, I sure hope it does. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Let's talk about the books. We're gonna do it in the order of lowest to highest rated. But this month is not gonna be all that fun. I swear to God, this is gonna be the shortest wrap up ever. And I'm so sorry about it. The 3-star that I read was this one, Spectrum by Nana Foss. This is a Danish book, which means that unfortunately, you can't read it. If you're Danish, you can, or if you speak Danish, you can, but it has not been translated, and I don't think it will. Here we are. But I'm still gonna give a little bit of a summary of what it is. So this is an urban fantasy, and already there, I'm like, So we follow this group of kids. It's kind of, I don't want to call them a found family because they don't really reach that family aspect or family quality that we normally see in a found family. Maybe they will in a later book, but at this point they don't have that bond, and that's fine, whatever. So in this we follow mostly Emily. Her name is Emilie, but it would be Emily. And she is just, this quiet girl who normally sits in the back and just does her thing. And then all of a sudden she starts drawing this guy that she has seen in her dreams who has these turquoise eyes. Then a few days later, said boy enters her classroom as one of the new students together with his sister. And then we have this group project that they need to do for school, and they go to this person who supposedly have these lectures that they can go and see in order to get some information. However, he doesn't have these lectures, but he still invites them in because he's like an astrophysicist, I think. So he knows a bunch of stuff about the universe, and that was what they had to write an assignment about. So he lets them enter his home and just have a look around, and he is telling them about all kinds of stuff. And then all of a sudden they touch this instrument. Well, not an instrument like you play, but this thing. It's called an instrument in this, but I'm actually not 100% sure what it is. But they call it an instrument. And then all of them kind of get burns. All of them get I imagine it as a jolt of lightning or something that passed through them. And then they were kind of passed out for a while. When they wake up, all of them have abilities. And this first book is basically them trying to figure out, okay, what can we do? And a lot of them find these things out by mistake, but it's kind of fun to follow along as they find out what they can do. And then towards the end, and I think I can say this, but like, if you're Danish or if you speak Danish and want to read this book, you can skip until I put this down, because I'm kind of gonna tell you the ending now. Or not the ending, but something along those lines. So towards the end, they figure out that they are actually time travelers and that there's these monsters after them. They can find them also in different time zones, so yeah. But it's very complicated. I'm not sure if I'm gonna continue with the series though, because like, I didn't care about any of the characters whatsoever. I do kind of care a little bit about what I believe is a blossoming romance between Emily and this guy named Noah, who is the guy that she was drawing. But the thing about Danish YA books, they don't do romance like any other YA book. So this feels a lot younger. It feels middle grade in the way that, okay, there is a little bit of interest in this person, but nothing happens, like, at all. They don't even, like, no one kisses in this book. There's nothing. So it feels more middle grade than it does YA, but it is a YA. It's just the way that Danish YAs are for some reason. I'm not mad about it. It's fine to have a book with, like, little to no romance, but I'm kind of in the mood for romance. So it was not really what I was looking for. I'm glad that I have read it, because I've wanted to for a while. I'm also glad that I've read a Danish book, because I've wanted to for a while, just didn't do it. I am not sure I'm going to be picking up the rest of the series, and I need to figure that out, because if not, then I'm going to get rid of this, because I don't see a point in keeping it. Also, I hate the cover. It is goddamn, like, it's awful. Like, there's like this person, like legit person, it's not a drawing or anything, and then it just seems like they inverted the colors or did something funky with it, and I don't like it. Oh, it's not a fantasy, it's a science fiction. Oh well, there we are. It's a science fiction, not a fantasy. The next two I'm actually going to talk about together, because as you might have guessed, they're a series, because like I had 3 books but only two authors, so here we are. I read the first and the second volume of Snot Girl. I can't talk about this because it's a series. I also started the third one, but I didn't get to finish it in time, so that will probably be in next month's wrap-up, or this month's, like the July wrap-up, that is what I'm trying to say. So, how on earth do I sum it up Snot Girl? I can't. Snot Girl is just phenomenal in my opinion. I really, really enjoy it, but we follow this fashion blogger who has allergies, and then there's also a little bit of crime wrapped in there and a little bit of self-exploration, I believe. This is the one that has multiple types of representation, because I believe we have some LGBTQ+ with the whole exploring yourself and whatever, and then we have like some, I don't want to call it a disability, but allergies. I kind of put that in the disability because I didn't have anything else to put it. We also have some mental health, we have some race, we have a bunch of things. I really like the crime aspect of this, but I also really like how bold and bright every single character is. Like, even the person that they call Norm Girl, because she's supposedly normal, there's just a bunch of layers to her that, going further into the series, I feel like we get to explore her more. We also learn more about the characters, because at first they're just like, I want to call it like surface characters, like you learn the basics and you see them and you're like, okay, I have an idea about how this person acts and how she talks and how she is. But the more you go into it and the further you go into the series, even though they're just side characters, you still get to learn a lot more about them, and I really like that. Also, of course, we learn a lot about Lottie, who is our main character, Snot Girl, and also her new friend, who I feel like a lot of this is about, because she meets this person called Caroline, and I don't trust that bitch. I don't trust her at all. So I'm excited to see where it goes, because I don't trust her. The way that she acts and what happened to her, with her in the first book, and where we go from that, and what she does in the first book, and like, there's so many things that just doesn't sit well with me when it comes to Caroline, but I'm excited for it. I also like to see more of some of the characters that we've gotten to meet now in the third book, actually. So I'm excited to finish that and complete the series by the end of the month. Or not necessarily the end of the month, but this month. That was it. I tell you it was short and I'm sorry about it, but hopefully next month's wrap up will be longer and will be better. So thank you so much for watching. Please let me know down in the comments what you read in June. If you just want to let me know that you're here but don't know what to comment, you can always leave a green heart. If you like this video, please hit the like icon, and if you want to see more of my bookish content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It will mean the world to me. And until I see you next time, bye!